Much of British airspace could close tomorrow because of Iceland's volcanic ash cloud. The government is warning it'll be Britain's busiest airports that will be worst hit. Ed Miliband will challenge his brother and run for the leadership of the Labour Party. Violence continues on the streets of Bangkok as the crisis in Thailand deepens. And it's crunch time for Portsmouth as they take on Chelsea in the FA Cup final. A very good afternoon. Air passengers are being warned that parts of British airspace may have to close tomorrow if a cloud of volcanic ash from Iceland heads further south. The Department for Transport has warned it could affect air travel until Tuesday. Well, Joe Lynam is at Heathrow for us now. Joe.
Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to a very sunny and very busy Heathrow Airport. Europe's busiest airport, though, could become a very quiet place over the next few days, especially if the wind changes.
Just when you thought it was safe to take to the skies again, the ash is back. The latest forecasts from the Met Office and the Department for Transport seem to suggest that parts of the UK, including the very busy southeast, are likely to be closed between Sunday and Tuesday. If so, it would heap even more misery on weary passengers, thousands of whom took days to get back from the last ash shutdown. That grounded 100,000 flights around Europe, stranding 8 million passengers and costing the airlines £1.3 billion, money they want back from taxpayers.
Morning, Mr. Howland. Can you please?
And this is the man who will ultimately be making the decision on whether it's safe to fly. The new Transport Secretary, Phil Hammond, alongside the Civil Aviation Authority. Many accused them of being overcautious last time in grounding planes. So now passengers, airlines and the entire new government will all hope that they are judicious this time. We may not even be at the halfway mark yet, but already 2010 is proving to be a year many will want to forget.
Well, the latest from the Met Office suggests that the wind is going to blow from Iceland towards the UK and bring with it more of that ash cloud. Now, that could change by midweek when the wind direction will change and blow further away from the UK. And you may have noticed that may mean that the strike planned for BA starting on Tuesday could be in time for execution, as it were.
Joe, from Heathrow, thank you. The former Energy Secretary Ed Miliband has confirmed that he will stand for the leadership of the Labour Party. His decision pits him against his older brother David, the former Foreign Secretary. Here's our political correspondent, Reeta Chakrabarti.
Hi, Sandra.
Smiles and a handshake as Ed Miliband arrived to announce that he was the second Miliband to throw his hat into the ring for the Labour leadership.
My message to the British people is we will learn from our mistakes. We will be part of your values again. We will be part of your community again.
He criticised aspects of the government to which he had belonged. It had misjudged on immigration and lost trust catastrophically over Iraq. Older brother David made his leadership announcement 3 days ago, surrounded by supporters.
There's now a vacancy for the leadership of the Labour Party, and there will be an election for that post. I will be a candidate in that election.
David Miliband is thought to be the front runner. Aged 44, he was Foreign Secretary in the last government and is a former advisor to Tony Blair. Brother Ed went to the same Oxford College and took the same degree. He's 40, a former cabinet minister and used to be advisor to Gordon Brown.
You do my usual when you're ready.
Will another Gordon Brown ally stop this race from being purely a family affair? Ed Balls, out in his constituency today, would only say that he wanted to talk to voters first.
The fact is, you've got to listen and you've got to hear what the people here are saying. It can't be us debating internally and then talking to the country. You've got to listen to the country, hear what they're saying, understand why they didn't think we were always on their side. That's the only way to make sure we're ready whenever the election comes.
Other possible contenders are Andy Burnham, the former Health Secretary, and John Cruddas, a left-wing backbencher. A potentially wide field. At least the Miliband's mother knows who she's supporting.
That her candidate for the Labour leadership will be John Cruddas.
Reeta Chakrabarti, BBC News.
There have been further violent clashes in Bangkok as soldiers continue to try and control part of an area occupied by anti-government protesters. The Thai army has now designated part of the city as a live firing zone in a warning to protesters. Alistair Leithead reports from Bangkok.
Welcome to Bangkok, what tourists call the land of smiles. But there's a lot of unhappiness in this country, and for another day it was pouring out on the streets of the capital. The troops are trying to break up anti-government protests, which have already lasted weeks, firing shotgun pellets at anyone who came too close.